day, everybody, and welcome to Doc Talk. I'm Dr. Darrell Wolfe, and today I'm with three beautiful ladies. They are leading practitioners, and what we wanted to do today is talk about how the playing field is actually changing, or should we say the world of therapy. Okay, so most people are taught that we're going to go for treatments, and we're going to continually go to treatments, and that you're going to be good until the next treatment. Well, we're dealing in a whole new culture, and that culture has to change. And that is that when your patients, your clients come to you, they need to become the practitioner for themselves. Meaning that if practitioners don't start training their patients how to look after themselves from the minute they gently open up their eyes until they close their eyes, then how are they ever going to get well? And believe it or not, the natural health industry works just like the medical industry in the way that, you know what, we let toxins build up in people. We let people become sick, and then we run to the rescue. Well, what about no more running to the rescue? What about people saving themselves and looking after themselves? But here's where the rubber hits the road. If you are a practitioner and you're dealing with the word lack, well, gee whiz, if I train my patients, clients to look after themselves, I'll never have any. Has anybody taken a look around lately and seen what the condition is of the majority of the population? So that's why I wanted to do this today. I wanted to have this show because these three ladies, okay, have taken on a whole new atmosphere about, yes, you're going to come for treatment, right? But they also look at their patients' clients at the condition they're in, not the condition they have. Because if we don't change a person's personality and learning that they need to become the master of their mind and their body, then they'll never create the reality of what? Creating the perfect day, creating the health that you need, and then ending what I would like to call the family curse, and that is that everybody thinks that they know what love is, they know what health is, they know what a good diet is, they know what proper exercise is. Well, that's what our discussion is today, okay? So, Robin Senek, Karen Hatton, Mary Phillips, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So, Robin, why don't you tell everybody where you're from, and what we're doing today is this. We're going to be talking about well, have you always wanted to do something but you didn't? And I'm not even talking about being a practitioner. If you don't live your passion and you don't live your purpose, you're going to have a miserable life. And so what I'm trying to teach people is not that everybody wants to be a practitioner, but we've got three practitioners that hesitated, procrastinated, and guess what? They didn't know why, but we're going to find out why and why they're not doing that anymore. So, Robin, why don't you tell everybody a little bit about your story? Where's your clinic?
So I'm located in northern Alberta, called Valley View.
Okay. And you work together with your husband, John, right?
Yes, my husband, John, has just joined me. I've been doing it for a little over a year and a half, and now he's joining me, and we're going to take this by storm.
So why did you come... okay, first of all, when you came and you took the courses, did you come with the intention that you would actually open up a practice?
No.
Why did you come?
It was one of those things where I wanted to get away from what I was in right at that moment. And I knew I wanted to, I think it was more for myself. I wanted to be better. I wanted to be healthier. I knew the road.
What does be better mean?
Better mentally, understand what was going on, and
what was going on?
The things that was stopping me from doing what I wanted to do. So I didn't understand what that was. I just thought it was because I was uneducated. I didn't know what I was doing, but that's as far as it ever went. I was just like, I don't have the schooling to do to proceed on, and I found out that you don't necessarily need all the schooling to do what you love, and it just sparked something in me.
So you were on a quest for happy.
I was, yeah.
You wanted to be happier.
Yep.
let me assure you something, everybody out there. We don't do anything unless it's to be more happier. I mean, I think about anything in your life, and even people that go to war, they think they're going to be happier. So
Mhm.
everything we do is to find happiness. So
Yeah.
when you came to the course, what did you think?
Well, honestly, I only signed. I was really interested in the body work,
Yeah.
the physical part of it, and I really didn't look at the fact that we had to do a week emotional training. I kind of just ignored that part, but then when I got here, man, that really got things going.
So you can understand that the emotional health of the practitioner is definitely going to affect the emotional health of your client or patient.
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely.
Yeah. So so you came and took the course, and did you think that your business was going to take off like it did?
Well, I didn't think I was going to have a business. I just thought, oh, I'll just take this course and see what happens with it. But afterwards, it was, you really got me to open up my eyes and understand that, you didn't to do what you love and do what you had a passion for, you'll find a way to do it. And I'm like, yeah, I like doing this stuff. I want to do this. So why can't I do this? And I had such a great confidence leaving class that I'm like, I know I can do this.
So yeah, you've taken the training 3 times, but the first time that you went through the combined course, did you know that you were going to get into practice, or were you thinking about it, or were you kind of just pushing that to the side?
Well, I knew that I wasn't going back to what I came from, the job that I was doing. I wasn't going back to that. So I'm like, I have to make this work. And I made it work.
How long were you uncomfortable in the job that you were doing?
The prior job, probably a good 3-4 years.
Yeah. Yeah, that's motivational.
Yeah. It was.
Yeah. I think you're finding now that it doesn't take 3 to 4 years to make changes, right? After you've gone through and you're a master trainer now. You help us teach courses. So it doesn't take you that long. It doesn't take you 3 to 4 years to make a decision now, does it?
No, not now.
No.
We've been given the tools.
Yeah.
And we do our homework. And we can, you can see the dysfunction that was there before, and sometimes it pokes its head in, but you catch it real quick.
Yeah, but the dysfunction that you see was functionable before.
I didn't even know it was a problem.
It was functionally uncomfortable, but everybody's doing
Everybody's doing it, and
Yeah.
that's just what I thought. That's how it worked.
So how do you find people coming to you, and are most of them coming to you because they've tried everything else?
Yes.
Because we're different. We are different,
we
right?
are. We
Yeah.
are very different.
Yeah.
I mean, they've done everything with their pain. They've gone to acupuncture, chiropractor, massage. They are on the verge of possible surgery. And, a lot of people don't want to do the surgery and they don't want to do the pills. But what else is there now? And
Yeah.
And now they come to us.
You come to a place where you just, I need to get this over with.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what? So now you find you're booked 2 or 3 weeks in advance now,
Oh yeah,
right?
easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Easy. Yeah. So do you have more work than you need?
I could always take more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can always do more.
Okay.
Well, that's good,
Yeah.
because you know that you're unlimited, right?
Yeah. And now I have my husband with me. So
Yeah, and
so
that's really great.
we're gonna rock this pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And everybody, make sure that you watch the interview that I did with John and Robin about how partners can come together and do amazing things, right?
Yeah.
Karen, so wait, where's your clinic again?
I am located in northern Alberta, and the town is called Valley View.
And what's your phone number?
780-524-8825.
And what's your clinic called?
Frequent Vitality. And the website is frequentvitality.com.
Why'd you call it that?
I wanted frequent vitality. I don't want to be that person in the hospital. I want to be strong and vibrant, and I want it there all the time.
Tell me what's changed for you since you started 2 years ago.
Confidence in everything,
Yeah.
not just my business. How I look at everything I go through is it's not so much a struggle anymore, and I don't second guess. And even if I'm not sure, it's just the confidence just to be like, yeah, this is what I want, and I know it's gonna. I know I'm gonna get to where I want. I just gotta keep with it. Don't be so scared.
Yeah.
There's nothing to be scared about. It's all in your head.
What about your relationships? Have they changed?
The relationship with me and my husband has just gotten so much better because he too is doing the work. He's taking the classes, and I mean the bond that us two together have grown. It's just amazing, and friends and family too, definitely changed.
They're feeling it.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
But you got to hold the line.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, they do get intimidated by it.
We talked the first year when you were going through this, and you were telling me at some points in time that, I'm really starting to see it, what you talked about in class, and I'm really having to hold the line or walk away.
Yep. I don't sit there and discuss past issues over and over again, because when you do that, you're just reliving it over and over again. And my family does, everybody's family does that. And it's like, okay, well, now what are we going to do with it? And my family is starting to see these changes in me, and it sparks an interest. Like, well, what are you doing? How are you doing that?
And you live pretty up north, right?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do people take to the emotional part? I know they love the physical part. There's
Everybody
a lot
loves
of
the physical.
oil riggers and lumber people in the lumber industry. Everything is physical up there.
Yep. Yeah, it is. And when you tell them that, a lot of this, well, all of it comes from an emotion. They've been told to bury that emotion deep down.
Yeah.
Don't let it come. And I'm like, well, that's why it's coming out. Your back, your shoulders. People have a hard time with the emotional part. And, but it's okay.
But you get in there once you have their confidence on a physical level, they start to let you in on a psychological, don't they?
Yes, they do. Yeah, it's gaining the confidence in the practitioner, and they see how you interact with them and the things that you do tell them to do, and it works. So they're, well, maybe she does know what she's talking about.
Yeah. Start off with little baby steps.
Yeah, exactly.
It's all about trust.
Yeah, it is.
Right?
So.
And people have lost trust.
Yeah. And I can see why. There's a lot of stuff out there that does, say it's going to help them, and it doesn't. So.
Yeah. But thank you, Robin.
You're welcome. Thank you.
So, Karen, talking about trust, how long did it take before you trusted yourself, that you felt that you actually had what it take to not be the patient anymore, but actually be the practitioner? You know what really amazes me is that anybody's allowed to be a practitioner no matter how screwed up they are, as long as they spend anywhere from 10 to 20 years in school. We'll call them, they could be in the health industry. Now, there's what I think is the lethal thing, because I truly believe that if you're not emotionally well, you can't give to your patients what you're not. As far as I'm concerned, it's very rare for me to find any really emotionally well practitioners, because we're not taught to honor, respect, protect, and love ourselves and really find that power. I mean, there's lots of people out there that are really good at what they do. I'm good at my acupuncture. I'm good at my deep tissue or my massage, or I'm good at being a surgeon. I'm good at being a pharmacist. But, is that really the issue? So
I left the first course all gung-ho. I'm going to go home and I'm going to do this and I'm going to get my website going. But for me, I got home and I went, oh, crap. Everything's the same as when I left. And I was challenged because I reverted back to some old habits that I wasn't happy about. But that was on me. I allowed myself to slip back. But that was okay. I needed to kind of feel where I was and understand what was going on in my own environment, so that a couple months later I could really realize that some things need to change here. And I do have the confidence to go out and get what I want. I had been in a career that I had chosen not for myself. And this was the first time I really had said, you know what, this is something I want to do. So it took me a little bit to kind of to feel that out, to say, it's okay and this is safe to step out and do what I want. And so as I did that, it was very uncomfortable, extremely uncomfortable. Family members, friends were saying, well, where's the old Karen? What is she doing now? This isn't her that we know. So it took courage to really step out and say, you know what? I'm doing this for me, and I love doing this. Changing lives is my passion.
Yeah, but at the beginning, it's hard to renovate, isn't it?
It is.
It's hard to renovate.
Yes.
And it's hard to go inside and go, if I don't do this for myself, I can never give this to my family, and actually get your mind to buy into the reality that if you don't hold the line, nothing's ever going to change.
Exactly.
And then with you, things are different. Everybody's got a different scenario.
Yep.
You came together with your husband. You came home to find that it was time to create a new story, a new chapter, which is a harder road to haul. But also, you know what? You were ready for it. I mean, how many people will go in and they take a look at, and everyone, I hope you don't mind me talking about your condition, can actually have breast cancer and go in like a Braveheart hero and understand and say, you know what? I got it. I don't love myself, and if I don't love myself, I'm going to lose this breast, and I might lose more. And then to actually go in and do the work. And you know what? I got to tell you, this is why I say, you're talking about three very powerful women here. And, it would be an honor if I was a woman, or even if I wasn't, to come to them, because you know what? They live their truth. They go through the story. And the story is that, it is a struggle. And you're going to struggle every day, but you might as well struggle for what you want instead of what you don't want anymore. And, it was difficult. I mean, you came here and then realizing the things that you had to change in your life. That takes a very strong woman, Karen, to heal yourself and then to be strong enough to go and get the healing and then have your family understand that it's your journey.
Yep, it was, because I went home, and even before the course, people were didn't understand why I didn't want to go have surgery. Why didn't I want to go through the normal protocol for breast cancer? But there was that inner part of me that just kept saying, there's something else. This isn't the path you're supposed to take. And when I realized it was my emotions, and that I was being led that I really needed to dig down, and this was the purpose that I was put on here on earth, was to do this. To help other women understand that there are choices and there's other options besides the knife and chemo. And that's what I'm here for. And that was what really, I dug down the courage to say, you know what? I'm not dealing with this old crap that I used to do emotionally. That I don't want to be on those emotional roller coasters anymore. That's why I ended up with breast cancer, because of those emotions.
Not just that, but guess what? And I'm not saying this for everyone. So when we say something here, don't let your mind run off like it likes to and just go, just breathe. If you would have got the surgery, you wouldn't have gotten the growth.
No, because I would have stopped.
And if you would have gotten the surgery, you might have gotten another growth because you didn't have the growth.
Yep.
So you're either going to grow physically something you don't want, or you're going to grow consciously to something that you should have been.
Exactly. If I went and got surgery, I would have thought, oh, the cancer's gone. I can go back to my old lifestyle. Well, my old lifestyle wasn't healthy, and it wasn't getting me anywhere down a love, fun-filled path. It was low vibrational. It was living for the day and the moment and doing things for everybody else but me. And I would have ended up with cancer somewhere else if I had not changed my emotions and my mind about who I am and my purpose every day to wake up and do things for myself and live my life for me and have joy every day.
And you know what? Understand something, everyone. I'm not going to tell you that it wasn't hell. This girl went through hell. You know what? She'd call me up and I'd say, hey, you're halfway across the river of SH, you know what? I said, just keep your mouth shut and keep swimming, because you're not coming back. You've got to make it to the other side. And if you don't make it to the other side, what are you doing for your children? and then already you have a practice open. What are you going to be able to tell? You're going to be able to tell a hero story to other women that have already, the only thing that's left to them is a shell. So now your reward is that you have the strength, and that you have all these women coming to you and asking you how you did it, because you did it, and to show them how to do it. I mean,
and that it can be done.
Yes. Yes.
The
And
end
it can
result.
be done.
And for me, it just came down to getting into my subconscious and finding that courage and not going back, because there were days that were challenging. It's like my subconscious would stop me from moving forward, but I had to kind of pause, step back, and move at my pace and just keep moving forward.
Mary, can you relate?
Absolutely. And that's what I call a health opportunity. I get excited about thinking about what's possible, not what can go wrong.
Yeah.
What can we do here?
Yeah. And the greatest thing, I think, I mean, I am just so blessed every day to be able to really work with people and help people, because you actually, don't you see that you have unlimited potential?
Yes.
And most of the planet are never going to know that they have unlimited potential. They're going to think that
No.
there's lack, okay, and they're limited. Well, you're limited by your thoughts, and you're limited by society. I mean, do you feel limited anymore?
No.
Honest to God, do you feel limited? I mean, sometimes.
But I realized how limited I was.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and sometimes your thoughts may creep in and try to
Sure.
get you there, because our subconscious is always going, no, we're going to stay here, even if it's uncomfortable, and even if it kills you, because if we go there, you could die right away, right?
And that's when I say that's the old Mary. This is
Yeah.
the new Mary. I mean, there will always be triggers,
Yeah, there'll always be triggers.
but I can catch it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So how is business going for you, Karen?
Business is awesome. It is.
Did you tell everybody where you live?
Nope. I'm in Des Moines, Iowa, and my business is called Total Health for Women, because I focus on women and helping them change their lives like I've changed my life. So my focus is on the pelvic work and doing abdominal lifts and breast, and also facials. And I've had awesome results helping women just step outside their shell, especially with the facelifts, is really changing their appearance, taking off that mask that some women hide behind, so that when they look in the mirror in the mornings, because they have spent so many years, like I did, looking in the mirror, doing their hair and their makeup, and never looking at themselves. But the facelift really helps them to take a new look at themselves. That beauty starts to glow. They get more of the sparkle in their eye, and think more clearly. And it really helps them start making those steps to, you know what? I have power. I love myself. And it starts to help lead into that emotional aspect of the work that we do.
Yeah, and then I know you're so busy at the emotional stuff because you're so good at it, because you went to hell and back.
I did.
Yeah, and you got your degree.
But it's okay.
And you got your
I
degree.
needed to. Yes, I did.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she couldn't have gotten that from a textbook.
No, you can't get it from
Gosh,
and
no.
understand something. There's nothing wrong with textbooks, guys. There's
Right,
nothing wrong with
right.
learning everything in a textbook. But
No.
understand something. Textbooks are not going to make you a practitioner. Textbooks are going to give you a diploma on the wall, and maybe the government will say you're approved. Well, we don't need their approval. Okay, we don't need approval to go and work on people. And look who's approving us. Come on, seriously. Think about that one. So the reality is this: no, you don't need approval from anyone to know that there's a practitioner inside of you, and that you've always had the power to heal. And I mean, that's what all of you are teaching, right?
Yes.
Mary, why don't you tell
Yep.
us about why you got into it? Why did you get into the business? And then tell us what you do in your practice.
Well, I actually used to own a gym, and I was a marathon runner. I was a USPTA tennis teaching pro, and I taught fitness classes, and I thought I was doing the most powerful body work. And I had a hard time wrapping my head around when I first came to you and realized that there was something dealing with scar tissue, because you're the only person that ever said to me that was the culprit behind so many ailments. And so now I'm just in love with it, and I've come back.
Tell us about
trained to
your
do.
blood work that you do.
Well, I fell in love with that too because that's a tool that is.
She fell in love with a lot of things. Just hold
yeah,
on, okay?
I you know what?
All right.
I mean, I love everything I did in my past. The one job that I didn't like, and once I got into it, I had to get out of it, was when I worked in a hospital. I worked at Swedish Medical Center as an anesthesia tech for a few months in between flight jobs. I used to be a corporate and commercial flight, or I still am, but over the last 30 years, I've worked in corporate and commercial aviation. But anyway, so between flight jobs, I took a job as an anesthesia tech, and that was probably the most low vibration atmosphere I've ever been in. And so luckily I got out of that, and I don't know, I just, I love this. I love being able to be in something that's so positive and high frequency.
Tell everybody
Yeah.
about your blood work, though.
Well, so the
Some
blood work,
people,
okay.
A lot of people don't even know what blood work is. They
Well-
think that you're taking blood or something, and that's it.
Right, it's just,
Live blood.
yeah, you take just a drop of blood on a slide. The beauty of it is I can put it under my microscope, and then I've got, oh gosh, about maybe a good 10 minutes before the blood oxidizes and starts to die. But right then and there, I can show a client, or they can see for themselves, what is going on in their body and how well they're assimilating their, their food, just all kinds of things like
You can see your
deficiencies.
glicky, sticky diet.
Yeah, I mean, you can see all kinds of stuff.
You can see the bugs that are crawling inside of you.
How well they're digesting. Yeah, you can
Yeah.
see parasites,
Yeah.
blood clots, but you can catch all of that, like blood clots, you can catch that at such an early stage. If you wait to go to the doctor or the hospital and for them to let you know you have a blood clot by then, it's serious. It hits an organ, that could be the end, right? But I can show it to somebody, and we can deal with it right away. And the answers are so simple. It really does go back to nature.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And then you do a
So-
lot of nutritional.
Yeah, so it's all about, like you said, looking at the condition
Yeah.
of the client instead of just what they think their condition is. It's really looking at where they are nutritionally, emotionally, and then also physically, spiritually.
And what's the name of your business?
SexyLeanLife.com, and it's all about just taking your power back, especially for women, because we tend to lose that.
Do women
especially-
want to be sexy?
They do, but not everybody will admit that.
Do you want to be sexy, Robin?
Absolutely.
Karen, do you want to
I
be
do
sexy?
now. That was part of the shell that I cracked in this journey.
You know, there would be a time in my life, but right now I'd like to be sexy
Yeah.
too. No, but really,
Yeah.
you know, I think I think sexy has a stigma like self-love. Maybe the S words are just no good anymore.
Maybe, yeah.
Maybe we should bring them back What do you think?
Yeah, for men and women.
for men and women.
Mm-hmm.
Because honestly, when Mary told me the name of her place, I was actually a little bit worried for her because I knew that people go, ugh, you know. But yeah, I think everybody wants to be healthy, and that's exactly what that means. That means healthy and vibrant.
Well, yeah, and if anybody has a problem with it, then they're not my client. It's okay. Not everybody is for everyone.
Yeah, maybe they're.
I want to attract people that
yeah.
I
Maybe they go to Funky and Chunky.
sure.
I'm just kidding. Yeah. We might cut that.
No, don't.
Okay,
Don't.
we won't.
No,
Leave it in.
Keep it in there.
Okay, all right.
It's so true.
Maybe even leave that in there. Okay, all right.
And like I said, I used to fly. I was a corporate and commercial flight attendant, and I just remember I started in my early 20s, and I remember over the decades, you could see the change. You could see what was happening to society
What do you mean the change?
in people, in
Like
their
what?
health, their weight, their health. I mean, we would have a lot of issues of people coming aboard that were getting sick or that were too heavy or needed seatbelt extenders, and it was happening more. And in fact, medical emergencies are so common. And so we dealt with that. That was the biggest thing we dealt with over the last few years.
Well, right now they call it the harvest, and that is corporations that are in pharmaceuticals and in surgery, chemo, radiation. They're actually calling it the harvest because they're making more money than they've ever made before. And we have reached a tipping point. You've reached a tipping point when you know that in some states and some provinces, 92% of the population now has autoimmune disease.
Mm-hmm.
3 out of 4 children are just overweight. 1 out of 4 are obese. So we know where the generation's going, and that all happened in 15 years.
Wow.
In 15 years,
Yeah.
we have done more to damage the health of our nation than in 150 years. And it was all working up to the point since 1910 when the AMA came in, and this whole thing has been orchestrated. So it took them, what is it now? It's 2020? So it took them 110 years. So isn't that something? In 1910, okay, and now we're at 2020. So 110 years. For one thing, nobody knows this. Most people don't know this. But it only took them 20 years to destroy over 110 colleges and universities in North America that taught homeopathy, chiropractors, naturopathics, everything. It was all gone. It was the witch burning.
And did you know that it was also illegal to charge for health care? Did you know that?
No, I didn't.
Yeah. And then that all changed. It all got hijacked.
Yeah. And what happened, and we won't get into this in great detail, but the AMA was going bankrupt by 1912. Okay? And what happened is the Rockefellers and the Carnegie Foundation gave them $100 million and said, the money will never stop if you can drop 110 schools. And the only schools that will still operate when we're done are the only schools that will sell our pharmaceutical drugs, and that is called the new medical system. Did you know that I'm a quack? Did you know that back in 1910, medical doctors were called quacks, and they reversed it and turned it around to me?
Yeah.
Right? And I don't mind being a quack. I don't mind, they can call me names, but the reality is that we're actually taking the people that other people aren't getting well. I mean, all of these three women here are doing what other practitioners out there aren't doing, and that's a fact. And you can believe it or not believe it, but where's your practice, Mary?
I'm in Palm Desert, California.
Palm Desert. Okay. And do you have a phone number?
Yes, 206-327-1047.
What's your website called again?
SexyLeanLife.com.
And yours, Karen?
TotalHealth4Women.com.
And where do you live?
I'm in Des Moines, Iowa, and my phone number is 515-669-7293.
Robin?
I'm Frequent Vitality. I am in Northern Alberta. The town is called Valley View, and my website is frequentvitality.com.
So if you were going to tell the people out there something, what would you say to them? And then I want you to, if you were to tell the men something, and then if you were to tell the women something. So everybody as a whole, then men, and then women, and then men. What would your advice be?
So as a whole, I think it would be that stop depending on and stop giving away the responsibility and the power to someone else for your own self. It's up to you to look after yourself.
Right.
It's not a doctor's responsibility. It's not anybody's responsibility. It's you. But we're here to show you how to do that, to be a support for you. But it's not all up to me to fix you. It's you. Take your own power back.
Okay.
Yeah.
And for women, what would you say to them?
For women, stop just hiding behind the husbands. I see so many of it. The husbands are out there, they got the good jobs and they're doing great things, and it's the women that, they've lost their power, and they're just there to clean up after the husbands and make sure everything is fine. It's time for you guys to step out and take control.
And the men?
And for the
This should be
men.
good. This should be good. I can't wait.
Oh, yeah,
Okay.
it's not that bad. And the men, come on, empower the women.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
That's
Yeah, man. It's about time they empowered women.
Yeah.
Okay, and you know what? I'm writing what's called I Am Woman, and I'll tell you, the whole thing was orchestrated, and it's the same thing as everything else. It's just like what happened with the AMA was the same thing with women, but that started 5,000 years ago, and I tell the whole story. But you said it right there. Men, start empowering your women, and listen to them more.
Yeah.
That we don't listen to them. That's why we say they nag, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's why men usually go deaf, because they've been taught not to listen. And that's a fact. Thank you.
Thank you.
Karen?
My
world.
message to the world is to stop just living each day, to just go through the motions. We get so caught up in what do I have to do? We have dishes, laundry, kids to run around, but that's not what life is. So find your inner beauty and every day do something what you want, your passion, and grow that little bit every day and just blossom.
And
So-
specifically for women?
For women, crack your shell, because once you can get a little crack, you can really start to see your light shine. And it's that one little crack. You don't have to crack the whole egg at once, but get that crack so that you can go to that mirror and look in the eye and know your potential and just let it out. And don't let anybody else tell you that it's wrong. And you take control of that and become who you want to be, because you have the power. You just got to find it and have the courage to look in those eyes and have an awesome day every day and know you deserve it. And so for the men, I would say to allow your spouse, significant other, or relatives, friends that are females, to let them shine and let their beauty out and not be threatened, to support them and be secure in yourself enough to allow that to happen, and find your inner beauty and your inner love so you can support them. And that you, if you are in a relationship, that the two of you can support each other and stay on that vibration and change together.
Yeah, beauty, not bully.
Yeah.
Mary?
I would say that for men, don't mistake movement for taking action. Take responsibility for your own health. I think a lot of men kind of just figure somebody else will, their wife or somebody else
Yeah.
will feed them and
Yeah.
take care of those needs. And then for women, I think that you have to want transformation to get it. I mean, I do believe that every woman wants to feel sexy, but if you deny that, then you need to look at why. Why are you not wanting that or saying that, what you really want?
Yeah, what's in the way? What's your block?
Yeah, what is it? Yeah. And then, of course, to everyone, it would just be, again, what we've learned through your courses is that self-love is really the true health care. Self-care, self-love.
That's right. It's got to be about you. When's it going to be about you? And when I say that, it's not about hurting or running over anyone else or forgetting about anyone else, but what is it you want to teach your children? What do you want to teach the people around you? Do you want everyone to be like you? And do you like you? If you don't like you, that's not a really good thing to teach, is it?
Mm-hmm.
So if you can tell me that you totally love you, then I'd say then teach the world what you are and give them what you are, because you can't give anything that you're not. You're going to give what you got, and it may not be so good.
Yeah, you have to set
Yep.
the example.
You have to. You have to.
And
You got to
sometimes-
hold the line
and
on
sometimes that
yourself.
means let people go.
Yeah, you got to be willing to sacrifice. Everything in life, there has to be something. When you get something, you've got to sacrifice something else. So your subconscious doesn't want you to let go of anything. So you got to practice letting go and practice being rejected. That's a good one. If you don't feel rejection anymore, when somebody says no to you and you go, yeah, next,
That's
It's
exactly
important.
right.
That's
Next.
huge.
next. All right. Robin, so why don't you tell everybody, I know we said it before, but why don't you let everybody know where you are so they don't have to go back. Okay?
Okay, so I'm Robin. I'm in northern Alberta. I'm in a small town called Valley View. My business is called Frequent Vitality. The website is frequentvitality.com, and my phone number is 780-524-8825.
Beautiful. Karen?
I'm Karen. I am in Des Moines, Iowa. My business is called Total Health for Women, and you can reach me at 515-669-7293.
And I'm Mary Phillips with Sexy Lean Life. I'm in Palm Desert, California, and my number is 206-327-1047.
And you know who I am. And I want to thank you for joining us. And just know that we have lots of shows coming. And when I'm around and not traveling, Mondays and Fridays, we have what's called live Q&A. We love your questions. And you can come on live and you can shoot them into Instagram, Facebook, and you can go on Intercom and send them in. And guess what? Every show that we do, we stamp the question. So you can go directly to your question and see the answer that we give you. And we'll always give you the best answer we can. Just know that we're here to serve you. And giving is the best gift of all. What do you have to give to make our world a better place? Thank you, ladies, for joining me. It's been truly a pleasure. And thank you for
Dr.
joining us. And God bless.
If you're looking for life-saving and life-changing information, well, you've come to the right place. Don't forget to click and subscribe. Stay connected.